Hello and welcome back, friends. If you are new around here, I'm Big Gator. If you came looking for the sharpest tennis bets, you're right where you belong. Right now, we are covering quite a few things. We have ATP Almaty, Brussels, and Stockholm. So we're going to Kazakhstan, then to Belgium, then to Sweden. So get into the comments. Let me see what you're playing for the first round for all three. Got a few that are going to be taking place tomorrow as well for the first round, so we're going to be getting into just a few in each, but let me know what you're playing in the comments below, and keep your eyes peeled for my pinned comment if you like to see what I'm playing as well. And if you like the breakdown of these matches, please give this video a like. It goes a super long way. It helps me out a bunch, and I appreciate everyone that does. And if you want to get my picks as soon as I upload, you can subscribe. It's the fastest way to get the picks. If you do feel generous, there is a link in the pinned comment to subscribe. To donate if you would like to for any of the wins, and also my free Discord. Now, with that being said, what are we looking like for today, friends? Feels good to come off a final sweetly like that, right? Something told me if the dude could beat Djokovic, he could win the whole thing. And lo and behold, he did it. Good job, Vacheron. First ever in his country of Monaco of what, like 40,000 people? So, probably a god there now. Congrats to him. That's huge. So, we won. I'm sure he won. He definitely won way bigger than us, but we'll take the win with him. Good job to Brendan Kanesh as well. I know some people took him for a set, so hopefully some people got their money. I know some people, not everyone did, but it's the way of the game. Anyway, let's get into these three matches. We are in good luck. We are in some good luck here. Yes. It is first round, but I do want to give you the good luck. The good luck is all three of these are going to be indoors. There's no weather restrictions happening in here. Nothing's going down. Nothing's going to stop this. We're going to get straight matches, straight smoke indoors. Hopefully it's got well ventilation. They cold a little bit. They got some... You know what I'm saying? We looking forward to this. This is what we waited all year for real. This is like the meat and potatoes for me. The indoor hard courts at this level is what we get ramped up for the later part of the fall season. So, with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start with Almaty first in Kazakhstan. So, without further ado, let's get right into that. I can find. All right. And our first match that we're going to be going into is going to be Mr. Fabian Marozsan going against Luca Nardi. All right. And this is going to be their fourth head-to-head. Jesus. All right. 3-0 for Marozsan against Nardi. When they play on the clay, he's only been able to get a set. That was 2 years ago. But ever since that one set he's gotten from him, Marozsan has won every last set. That's 5 straight. One in the Masters in. The last match was actually in Hangzhou on hard courts where he bageled him in the first set and then beat him 6-2. So just looking at how well he has been playing this season, doesn't have a huge indoor hard court record, but we know that he does play well on the hard court, and this is just going to make it even better for him. A bit of a vacuum gives people a bit room to grow. But then we have Luca Nardi, who is 6'3", 6-3 on the hard court this year, but that doesn't mean too much, right? Those wins were where? Challenger level, right? He won a challenger earlier last year, or later last year, I should say. In November back in Italy, the Rovereto Challenger, the Rovereto, okay, butchering these things. Anyway, I think Fabian is going to win. He's been playing extremely well. Looking at who he's been playing recently, I mean, I don't think the win percentage here really matters, but Luca Nardi does have a 5% win rate over him when it comes to the indoor courts, but. Marozsan took a set off Taylor Fritz. pretty convincingly and had a pretty close match against Yannick Sinner. He did beat Stan Wawrinka in the first round of Shanghai in 3 sets, though. And then we had Luca Nardi, who went to a tiebreak with Giovanni and Pesci Pericard, but he beat Sebastian Ofner in Shanghai. Couldn't beat Arnaldi or Mahach on his last hard court performances, but it's been some time since we've seen him on the indoor hard courts. Same with Fabian Marozsan, so who's also 2-3 this season. But I don't think that will really mean too much going into this. One of those were a Davis Cup match, so I won't spend too much time on this. I think Marozsan takes the money line here, and we'll leave it at that. And our next match is going to be Gabriel Diallo going against Amir Omarkhanov. Got a young 17-year-old from Kazakhstan going against Diallo, who did seem to go through a bit of a hip injury. After, what was that? I read somewhere that he sustained a hip injury. Let me see. Diallo, hip injury. Okay, Gabriel. That was last year. Okay, yeah, no. He's fine now. Misread. Forgive me. Anyway, Diallo's going to smoke this guy. If I didn't tell you before, Fabian is minus 290 to win, so I'll put that on the slip real quick. Just to give you context of how much of a smoke show they think this is going to be for Diallo, he's minus 4,000. Those are like Sinner odds, like Alcaraz odds. This kid's 17. He's not ranked. This would be his, what, 28th match, 57th match ever? 58th match ever? No. 48th match ever. Sorry, math is terrible right now. So, I think it's got a negative record on the hard courts outdoors, and he's only played 2 matches on the indoor hard courts ever. So, I don't know. It's looking pretty grim for the young boy. He's only played at an M15 level, so ITF 15s. On quite a losing streak as well. So if he does do something here, it'd be quite impressive. But I don't think we will be seeing that. But we've seen crazier things happen in the past week, have we not, friends? There's virtually nothing worth betting on in this match. I'm going to just be quite frank with you. I peeped it before I made the video, and I was like, what the fuck? Minus 700 for straight set wins for Diallo. Okay? The spread is at 6.5. Take it if you want to. I'm not touching that. For the kid to get a set, it's plus 370. Jesus. Yeah. Just watch Diallo smoke that kid and just be happy that you knew that you were right. Okay? We can move on, though. Our next match is going to be Hugo Blanchet going against James Duckworth. And boy, I noticed that Hugo Blanchet won in straight sets against Dinky in the qualies. I saw that notification this morning. I was like, oh, shit. Blanchet is back, bruh. Remember, he was like kind of going crazy in the U.S. Open. He made it all the way to the 3rd round from qualies, which was kind of crazy. He beat Jakub Minčić and Fabian Marozsan. So if they see each other again in this one, this is going to probably be a 3-setter. If they do, we'll see. But I think that Hugo Blanchet wins, dude. I know James Duckworth is good. He beat Kukushkin. Good to be. But Saba, whoever, Pertz, Sedladze, I'm sorry, ended up retiring in quali, so I don't know what that's about. But, yes, both 2 people I don't really know. He went through both of these guys beating qualies, and then Rinky and Kukushkin have been beaten. But Blanchet did it in straights. And that second set was way more convincing. 7-5, 6-2 All right. He hasn't played a bunch. He didn't do too well in Shanghai. Then he went to a challenger and lost to Kazoo in the first round. But he seemingly snapped back into form here in Almaty. So, want to see what the Frenchman does against the Australian. He is lower ranked, but I do think he has his days, and I think this may be one of them. Let's check out their records in the hard court indoors. Ugo Blanchet is 8-1 this season on the indoor hard courts. Duckworth is 3-2. Last season he went 7-7. Blanchet went 3-5 last season. 52% win rate for Ugo and 53.9 for James Duckworth. Mind you, they are about 7 years apart, so that is where that number can be a little bit skewed as far as, sample size for each player. Significantly low for Blanchet. Equally as low, actually, for Duckworth. Crazy enough, Blanchet's played more matches officially on the indoor hard courts than Duckworth has. But has a slightly worse record. But I do think that he's playing a little bit better on the hard courts this season, and I think it translates pretty well to what's going on inside. So he's plus money. I think it's a crazy first round smoke to take. And leave it at that. And last but not least, because this is all we're going to be getting for tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. We're going to get Bernard Tomic going against Quarantine Moutet. Now, we haven't seen Mr. Tomic in a minute. We've been seeing him at the challenger level, but we haven't seen him officially in a draw. But he's qualied in. He got a pretty good draw. Marc-Andrea Huisler and Denis Yevseyev. Sorry, guys. But beat them all in 3 sets. Going against Moutet, that's a lot to put on the man. He's 32. He's in good shape, I guess. We'll see. Moutet's going to have him moving and grooving. We know this. Tomic does have a decently good record against lefties, but that is only probably against lefties under a certain rank, or above a certain rank. Like, I want to say over 200. He's probably beaten, or like over like 120. But I don't know if he's beaten anyone in the top 80. Yeah, he hasn't. 123. And that was Manarino last year, or earlier this year on the grass at the Challenger. Before Manarino turned back up this year. But, yeah, that was the closest he's been. Everyone else has been most recently. Let's see, ranked 253, which is his last match. That was against Andrea Huisler. He's a lefty. And then Omar Jasica, which was back in September on the 1st. He's ranked 202. Bagnes, who's ranked 454 at this point, which was a walkover. Didn't even play him. Giles Hussey, 446. Yeah, you're going against a ranked 38. You're not happening. So we'll see. They don't even have any props up for this yet. Let me see what Moutet winning in straights would be. If my computer wants to act right. Hold up. Bow. Come on. This is going to be the last match, as I said before. But before we do that, I just want to get a good look at these odds. Minus 390 for Moutet. Jesus! Minus 120 to win in straights. Parlay piecing Moutet to win in straights for minus money is so nasty, bro. You know I love the guy to death. You know I love this guy. But taking this guy to win in straights and it's minus money is never something I would ever advise. I don't care who he's playing. You can't trust it always. So Moutet to win minus 350. I would take it for a parlay piece. Is it really worth it? Play him on DraftKings, Like, use him he'll be a decent price. Hopefully. But as far as their records, 2-0 so far for Tomic. He went 4-4 last year, 2-4 the year before that. 5-4 for Moutet, 7-4 this year before that, 7-7 the year before that. So always play decently well. Got a 53% win rate going against Tomic with a 43% win rate. So that should about do it for you guys there. And that will wrap up all we got going down for this first day of the first round in Almaty in Kazakhstan. Our next, we're going to excuse me, Jesus. The next one we're going to touch into is going to be probably in Belgium. We're going to go to Brussels, is it? Yes, we're in Brussels. We only have 2 matches that we're going to cover for this one, though, but they're going to be juicy. I'm pretty sure. We have Marcus Giron going against Matteo Bellucci. Holy. All right, this is going to be their first time playing each other, but we do know that Giron plays decently well against lefties. Let's see let's see who he's been playing. Lost to Diallo in straights, so maybe not. What's crazy is it looks like Marcus Giron has only had 3 wins in like the past 3 months. And the wins that he had looked so good. And even when he loses and he'd be so close to winning, bro. It'd be so sad. Tabilo beat his ass, though. But Korda, that was crazy. He got robbed, low-key. Yeah, anyway. Going against Bellucci, lefty, he got beaten by Mahat recently in Shanghai, but beat Adam Walton, which I kind of put at the same tier of Marcus Giron. So Adam Walton on his best day is like 70, maybe 80% of what Marcus Giron is on his best day. So I still don't think that'll really be enough to get through Matteo Bellucci, and he's had a decent breaks in Shanghai, right? So I kind of like my odds going with Bellucci, but let's check out their hardcore stats. Indoor stats. 59% win rate for Giron and 56 for Bellucci. But Bellucci's already 6-3 this season. Giron's 1-0. With that one win he had in the Davis Cup against China, Chen Hensing. And Bellucci, 6-3, probably challenger. He was in Rotterdam. That's right. Made it to the quarterfinals in Rotterdam this year. Lost to Demonar, but beat Tsitsipas, Medvedev. So him on the indoor hard courts in that vacuum space. I don't know, man. I think he might be packing up a punch. So does Giron, though. Giron packs up a decent punch in the indoor courts too. So might be good to go for like total games here. Maybe, just maybe. Let's see what the line's at. If they want to show me. Jeez. Why are they being like this, friends? Okay. Giron's minus 156 as the favorite. Bellucci's plus 128. If it goes to a 3-setter, it's plus 124. So, do you think nothing shoots right at me about this one? I think Bellucci's going to win. I don't know for sure. I'd play it on DraftKings for sure. I would definitely throw him on the DraftKings lineup to see what he ends up doing for me. But other than that, I'll move on. And last for the matches that we have in Brussels is going to be Riley Opelka and Ben Bonzi. Once again, we just saw them 10 days ago in Shanghai, where Ben Bonzi beat Opelka in straight sets. Do we get more of the same? Now, something tells me that the books are going to have these motherfuckers at even money. Even though he beat him. Opelka is no. He is the favorite. Bonzi is the favorite. I was hoping that he would be even money. Oh, but it's the same price anyway. Minus 128. It's not too bad. But the dog is Opelka at plus 104. Kind of saw that coming big, so he just lost to him a week ago, right? I would take him to win again. Take him to beat him again. Do we have to go into the stats for this? It is indoor hard courts, so Opelka's win rate there is his highest. It's the least amount of matches he's played, but it is his highest. He's 47-25 career-wise on the indoor courts. He only had one negative season, and that was back in 2021. He had one season where he went 10-0, 2018. Long time ago. As of recently, he's 2-2. With his last two losses being to Tommy Paul and Casper Ruud, but the first two being from Cam Norrie and Alexander Shevchenko. Benjamin Bonzi is definitely, at this point now, I don't know. What do we think about that? Like, the people that he's lost to on indoor courts. Bonzi's 1-2 so far this season, but last season he went 24-6. It's been impressive. It was a challenger level, though. Yes, it was. He won like 3 challengers. And then he took Mets. Remember? He ended up winning Mets. That's right. Right at the end. I couldn't believe that. That was so crazy. Ben Bonzi came out of nowhere. The Frenchman came and did it for us. But at that time, I didn't have much hope in the French. I was a bit unhappy with their results when I was betting on them. I learned the hard way. But now it seems like the tides have changed. Seems like the French are on top this season. They've been playing very well. There's been a lot of great French players to come up this season. But I take Bonzi money line. Again, keep it simple. And we can use that to segue ourselves right into Sweden. Sweet Sweden. But we're going to go right into Stockholm and jump right into the first match there, which is going to be none other than Miomir Kecmanovic going against Alexander Muller. Mr. Muller is back to beat up Kecmanovic. He's played him twice this year since we've been covering. And earlier in Hong Kong, right on New Year's. Damn. And then in Toronto. And the Masters there. So, and a 3-setter though. Always went to 3 sets. This time, maybe, just maybe, Kecmanovic wins. On the indoor hard courts. I don't know. He's 2-2 so far this season. He's got a 50% win rate, flat even. But Muller is 49.5. That 0.5 might be the reason why he loses. We'll see. But he's been playing convincingly well when he's losing. I'll say that much. He's not looking bad either when he's losing. He's like a Giron to me right now. And same with Kecmanovic. I think this could be a long match. Just based off of that, honestly. These two guys have been losing a fair amount. Haven't been having the best season right now. Kind of been trending downwards. Like, not kind of. They have been trending downwards. But, you know how tennis goes, man. It takes just literally a week to turn things around, and it's the first round. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. And everyone's so used to being outside, and things are going to move inside, so maybe some people adjust to that a little bit differently and sooner than others, but Kecmanovic is actually the favorite here. Even though he's lost every time he's played him, Muller is the dog. If you want to go for that smoke and get him for the 3rd time's a charm, and you know what that means when you win 3 times in a row. So, looking at him going 2-2, and then Muller this season going negative last season and not playing yet this season, 3-5. I think they're leaning more on that, but Kecmanovic did have one Davis Cup match recently, where he won in straights. So that practice being there might be a little bit better for him, but going against an informed Goffin definitely wore out Muller in the first round, because that first set did him in, then he got almost double bageled after that. He was able to get to the tiebreak, but he couldn't do that 2 more times. It just wasn't happening. So, I'm not too sure about this one, honestly, but I think Muller is probably going to be the one to get it done. But I like Kecmanovic winning as well. So, honestly, if I played on DraftKings Fantasy, I'd probably play Kecmanovic. Not going to lie to you. But I'm not going to bet on it. Our next match that we have is going to be Talon Griekspoor going against Jacob Fearnley. It's been a minute since we've seen this lad. And this is going to be their second head-to-head, actually. They played here last year. Second round. Poor guy, Fearnley. He's going to have to get knocked out in the first round this time, it looks like, because the way Talon Griekspoor has been playing recently, looks like he's back in form. I don't care what y'all say. He lost to Vacherot. Everybody lost to Vacherot, okay? Djokovic lost to Vacherot. Okay? So, you gotta, Fearnley lost to Stricker. Lost to Zverev. But that was back in the U.S. Open. So, he's only played about 2 matches since the U.S. Open. Don't know what that deal is, but he has not been playing too hot. Talon Griekspoor has been playing convincingly well since we've seen him in Shanghai. So, I would definitely take him to win here. Just looking at his previous stats from last year, I remember him last year. He was hooping hard last year, but so was Fearnley, but at a challenger level, not even M25 level. So, if you don't remember, Talon Griekspoor, what was he doing? He made it to the semifinals back in Rotterdam until he ran into Yannick Sinner. Made it to the semifinals in Stockholm last year until he ran into Grigor when he was healthy, obviously. But it went to a 3-setter. But he beat Kasparov, Fearnley, obviously, and Kotov. And then in Montpellier, went to the quarterfinals, lost to De Jong in straights. That was the most recent, but that was back in, Rotterdam. He lost to Tsitsipas, but beat Berrettini. So, if you can beat Berrettini, you can beat Fearnley. He's minus 230 to win. I'm not going to take him to probably win. He's a great piece to take, honestly, but I'm going to see how well he's looking here. You might go for a spread if you even want to go super spicy, or just take him to win in straights, because you know it's going to happen. I don't think Fearnley's going to take a set off this Griekspoor if he is this Griekspoor that we think he is. The way he was playing, recently has me a bit convinced that he might just be able to do anyone in the first round right now that he's going against, and that's Fearnley in the way, and I think he can get it done. And next we have Alexei Popyrin going against Sebastian Korda. This is going to be their 4th head-to-head. Second on the indoor hard courts. Funny enough, they played on carpet back in 2020. Crazy. And a challenger. But, yeah, what? Anyway, they played last year in Montreal. Popyrin beat him in straights, but Montreal is a place where he shines. So, excuse me. Losing to Popyrin in straights in the semifinals in Montreal makes some sense. He plays well in Canada. And then Korda beat him indoor hard courts, though, in 2023, back in Astana. Went to a double tiebreak, and Korda ended up winning 6-4 in the third. What are these odds looking like? Popyrin is a dog at plus 168. Man, I don't fully trust either of these blokes, to be quite honest with you. But let's look at the stats. 0-1 on the indoor hard courts for Popyrin. Same for Korda this season. Probably Davis Cup matches, if anything. Or one round and like a challenger, and it was like, fuck this. 4-3 last season, 2-2 last season for Korda, 4-3 for Popyrin. 51% win rate, 61% win rate for Korda though. So maybe that's what they're going off of. His 2022 run, when he made it to the final and lost both times to Rublev and Felix. Fair enough. Lost in the final against Alcaraz and Milan the year before. Yeah, yikes. So we'll see. It was Marozsan where he played last. Lost to Otto Vertanen and a challenger. Oh, that was in Marozsan. Okay. Anyway, I would take Popyrin to win a set. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling playing penicillin. Korda should win, so maybe you want to go 2-1 Korda. But I don't know. I would love to take Sebastian Korda to win, man, but he hasn't been convincing me that he's back where I saw him, like how he was in Adelaide, bro. How he was in Australia was primo. Even when he didn't win, I was like, I don't care. You playing well, bro. I like this. I will bet on this. I will bet on you playing this well. That's what I'm talking about. That's the value I'm looking for. A player that will try to win. Even when they're not winning, they will still try to win. We need that. Anyway, I'll move on to our very last match that we have going on in Stockholm. And that's going to be a new name. We have Leo Borg going against Sebastian Ofner. And they have played each other once before earlier this year in Geneva on the clay in quali's first round. And Ofner won 6-3, 7-5 straight sets, obviously. Leo Borg is 22 years old. He's from Sweden. He's going to be a local player. He's ranked 641. He's qualified in, though. So, hey. Or did he? No, he's a wild card. Ofner lost to Luka. He's on a, my God, 2, 4, 6, 8 match losing streak. And that Borg, who just lost in the semifinals last week at M25. I think it was Egypt somewhere. So, Borg is minus 550 to win. With the serve he has, yeah. Minus 165 to win in straights. I wouldn't take it, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. If we know how he does on the hard courts, Ofner, he's got about a 50% win rate. He went 1-0 last season. Hasn't played yet this season. He went 7-6 the season before that. Kind of just plays like hot and cold. And then we have Borg, who's 3-5, 2-3, 3-8 in the past 3 years. He's got an 8-22 record career-wise. He's not the best. 26% win rate on an indoor hard court. So, going against a big server like Sebastian Ofner, I don't really see him nabbing a set, honestly. Unless he finds it in the kindness of his heart to make it a really close match. I don't see Ofner doing so. I think he's here to get his money, and so are we. So, I'm not too mad at the Ofner play. Even though it is minus money, this one makes a lot more sense. Right? So, that is all I have. But before I do go, I do want to give a good look at the... Oh, wow. So let's look at this draw. So, they got the Emer brothers playing each other in the first round. That's so fucked. We're like, we got to get rid of them. So in Stockholm, we can go through this draw real quick. We got for the matches that are not happening tomorrow. I mean, tonight or later. The Emer brothers are playing each other. Maivshak is here to play Misalic. That's going to be crazy. Berrettini will be playing Zeppieri. Kovacevic is playing Ugo Carabelli. De Jong is playing Fucsovic. Ferry is playing Sonego. Leal is playing Echeverry. That should be kind of interesting. And Budkov Kair is going against Silic. Going right back up from the bottom. So in Brussels, we can expect to see Batista Agu and Baez. Rusaviori going against Impeshi Pericard. Straight sets for Pericard, probably. Bergs and Collion. Comasanya and Goffin. Fonseca and Botic Vandas Anskulp. Wow, that should be an interesting one. China and Jumhor. Wow, Demir Jumhor and Federico China. That should be interesting. And then the rest of the ones we have in Almaty are going to be Arthur Kazo and Shintaro Michizuki, Schoolkate and Walton, Nakashima and Medjedovic. I think that's another one. I think we've seen that before. Zukayev and Mikkelsen, Topo and Vukic, Jerry and Skatov, Laszlo Jere and Shevchenko, Struff and McDonald. So we got some names in here. Keep a lookout for it. Let me know who you guys think are going to win the whole thing, okay? Let me know what you guys are playing in the comments, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow, okay? Let's get to this week of tennis. I love you all. Be smooth. Peace.